Hey guys, welcome back to Model Release. For episode 4, I have a very special guest. She's a model, content creator, fashion designer, a very positive light on the internet.
Thank you.
Very encouraging spirit. We have Sienna Linda.
Hi, everyone.
I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm trying to think how long I've known you. Maybe like 2 years?
Has it been that long already? Yeah, because we met through Megan, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has
Probably
been a while.
the summer before last.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
We were signed with the same modeling agency as well.
Yes.
But yeah, I met you about 2 years ago, and I actually don't actually know where you're from.
I'm from San Diego.
San Diego.
Yes. So
I was like, I feel like she's from California, but I know
I'm
it's
such
not
a Cali
LA.
girl. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm such a Cali girl. I'm like, San Diego is definitely its own culture, its own vibe, very slow pace. So I love it there, but I had to get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like San Diego and LA is like night and day?
I think they're similar, but LA is just fast paced and everyone wants to feel or seem like they're really busy. And in San Diego, it's very slowed down. You know, we're still a very much like ocean kind of city, beach city.
Yeah.
People just have a slower way of talking, moving, and getting things done. So
Right.
it's comfortable, I think, to like raise a family. But if you have an entrepreneurial spirit or you're just a go-getter and want to get things done, it's
Yeah.
hard to be there because everyone is so comfortable in their life. And I think a lot of people don't have aspirations outside of having a family or like creating a home in San Diego from what I've seen in the people that I know.
That's super interesting. Is your family still there?
Yes, yeah. So
Is
it's
that
nice.
nice to like know you can get on the road
Girl,
and go
absolutely. Yeah, 2.5, 3 hours depending on traffic.
there? Yeah.
But it's nice to be able to have somewhere that I can still call home, and when I need to feel grounded and rooted, I have, my family that I can always go back to. So it's nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't have
that's
to take a
awesome.
flight and like worry about crazy weather or anything like
I
that.
know. My family's out of state, so like when the pandemic happened and there was
Yeah.
no flights, it's like my mom got on the road for 17 hours.
Oh my
Like
gosh. Wait, where are
stuff
you
like
from
that.
again, Janae?
I'm from Washington.
Oh, your mom drove all the way over
Yes.
here?
Yes.
That's
I
love. That's
know.
love. Shout out, look, mom, shout out to you because, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it can be like super crazy to be here alone.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know you are in your really cute relationship with
Thank
your man. You guys are
you.
so cute. I'm
Thank
like,
you.
yes, black love.
We
I
love
love
to
to
see
see
it.
it.
No, really, we love to see it because for a certain point, it was really ghetto out here.
Girl,
It was really
I'm currently in the
questionable.
trenches right now.
No, it's tough. Dating in LA is hard. I feel like
Yeah.
it's more challenging than like dating in general is tough, but like dating in a city where people always feel like there are other things and other people out there, and it's harder, I think, because you can find someone who's a great match for you, but
Yeah.
like there's still, I think people have that question in the back of their head, like, is there more? Is there better? And they're
Right.
always searching for like the next thing as opposed to being grateful for the person that's in front of them. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I definitely think that's an issue is like having too many options. You think like they're quality options, but it's
Right.
just like you're just seeing and meeting so many people, and it's like you can just
Yeah.
get lost in the
No,
sauce.
get lost in the sauce, or like people date for like clout because you have like followers, you have this, or you look a certain way, or you're like this aesthetic, and they don't really
Yeah,
want to get to know you for you. They just like who you present to be. And there's a
right.
difference in finding someone who appreciates who you genuinely are. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
navigating those waters can be a little tricky.
For sure. I've definitely experienced that. It's crazy because I feel like with even your relationship online, you can just feel like you guys have such a genuine connection. So I
Yeah.
think that's so
Thank you.
inspiring. And
Thank
I'm really
you.
happy for you.
Thanks so much.
God bless.
No,
God
literally.
bless anyone that's still in like happy, healthy relationships in 2025.
Yeah, I feel like I always tell him, I'm like, thank God. Like the little kid version of me is just like, like that's your boyfriend. Oh my God,
Yeah,
like
so cute.
she's excited and she's so happy and grateful. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, thank you.
Love that for you. So we're gonna get into the journey here. What first drew you to LA? I guess how long also have you been here?
So Off and on. I've always wanted to come to LA, like ever since I was a kid. When I was a kid, honestly, I was watching That's So Raven and I was like, I could do that. Like I could be that.
Yeah.
So I always had like an interest in acting and being in LA, and I thought because it's just such a close city to San Diego, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, there's so much going on there. There's always things to do, places to
Yeah.
go, venture, different food and restaurants to try, people
Mm-hmm.
to meet. So I've always been so captivated by LA. And then I got here and I originally moved because I was actually pursuing acting.
Okay,
So
cool.
my he's not my agent, but he was my acting coach, and he was like, okay, Sienna, like it's time, you need to move. I'm gonna start sending you on auditions and everything like that. So I was like, oh yes, like this is my time. This is something I've been thinking about doing for a long time. And I got here and then the pandemic
Oh,
happened. So I moved December 2019. Everything shut down right before my birthday in March
oh my
2020.
gosh.
Um, and then I went back home. Like I was still paying for rent. And
Yeah.
like I was like, well, this is crazy. Like, how are you gonna shut down the beach? So I
Right.
moved back home for like a couple months. And then when everything was better, I like kind of came back up.
Yeah.
Um,
That's really cool though, because a lot of people did go back home and like they don't make their way back. So
yeah.
it's cool you came back.
Yeah, I feel like I had to. Like, I don't think I still sometimes don't feel like I've had the full LA experience, even still, you know?
Right.
And I think a lot of people can relate to like the COVID, like just kind of totally shutting down life or you having to totally pivot in a different way. That definitely happened for me. But I pivoted from kind of acting because there weren't any auditions. LA,
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood was all shut down. And I started getting into designing even more so. So
Mm-hmm.
I've had my brand since I was fresh out of high school. That totally happened on accident.
Bomb pieces, by the way. I'm
Thank
always
you.
like, what is that? And it's
Yeah.
always your stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so good.
Thanks.
So flattering for like
Yes.
curvy bodies too.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I got into it to begin with. So I appreciate that compliment. Definitely means a lot to me. And yeah, I started designing more women's wear and getting away from swimsuits.
Mm-hmm.
So that fed me for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
both financially and creatively. And then things kind of changed for me again and then pivoted to other things and other
Yeah,
ventures. So I feel like that's a
definitely.
life of someone who's living in the city though. Like we're
Yeah.
always finding something.
Pivoting, just pivoting
Yeah,
to
we
like
have
different things, still being
exactly.
creative, but in different ways.
Yeah.
But I can relate to coming here and not feeling like you got the full experience because I moved here in March of 2019. So
Okay.
it was like kind of getting my feet wet, figuring out, what neighborhood I want to live in, trying to find friends, and then like everything shut down.
Right.
And I was also in a relationship at the time, so I was still very like, you're not as open when you're in like the relationship when you move to a new city. You're kind of
Yeah.
like comfortable with like your one friend or
Right.
whatever. So yeah, I feel like life kind of started after the pandemic,
Yeah,
really.
definitely.
Like we lost years of our life, which is crazy.
No, so crazy.
I think anyone that even is here for any amount of time, just paying bills and like staying afloat is really challenging. It's like a
Yeah.
big accomplishment in my opinion.
Oh, definitely. I think, you know what? Moving anywhere that you have feel called to move is resilient already because you're uprooting yourself and taking yourself out of comfortability and
Hmm.
accessibility a lot of times, and you're starting something new. You're putting yourself out there, and that's a lot to ask of someone. Everyone who has ever transitioned to anywhere that they have wanted to move to, shout out to you because it's not an easy thing to do. But sometimes when you listen to yourself and your own intuition in that way and you let that be your guiding light as opposed to letting fear holding you back, that opens the door for so many beautiful things to happen in your life. And maybe it wasn't the way you initially expected, but it
For
still
sure.
happened.
I totally agree with that. I think when I came here, I was like, I want a model, I wanted this, I wanted that. And like once I actually settled into being here, it's like I just feel at home
Hmm.
here. I'm like no longer necessarily a minority as much as I was back home. Like that
Yeah.
feeling of waking up and being inspired and knowing that there's new people moving here, like trying to chase after that. I feel like just having that inspiration on a daily basis is like the dream in itself. Like you were saying, like things pivot, things change, like you kind of feel um satisfied with different goals that you didn't know that you wanted to achieve, I guess,
Yeah,
if that makes
exactly.
sense.
My question, when you moved from Washington, what brought you? What brought you to LA?
Yeah, so modeling brought me here.
Mm-hmm.
I was basically signed for like 10 years. And then I came out here to meet with like a really big agency. It was natural.
Mm.
And I was like, I'm gonna sign, I'm gonna move. I told my mom and then my ex-boyfriend at the time, I told them I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But I just knew in my heart of hearts that was gonna happen. And I feel like they like believed in me, but they didn't think like, oh, you're moving like next month.
Right.
So I pretty much had flown here, signed, and then I'm like, all right, I gotta find an apartment. And I just moved within like a few weeks.
Oh my gosh. So you did get signed.
Yeah, before I
Oh,
moved here.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of had like that plan, the setup. I feel like being signed also gave me a lot of friends. I met a lot of girls on the board and at events, so that was
Yeah.
helpful. I feel like without that, that would be so much harder
Oh, definitely.
if you're coming like by yourself.
Yeah. I was gonna say though, I don't know. I think for the friendships, yes, definitely it would be tough. But like, girl, just because you get signed doesn't mean you're booking work.
Right. Hello. So
So
you're talking to somebody who was signed for 10 years and I like just went independent. I just got out of my contract for that reason.
did you? Oh
Yeah,
my
over
gosh.
the summer and honestly it was the most that I had worked like and it was like dream brands. Like I was on the homepage for like Juicy Couture and like just doing a bunch of
Period.
things and just opening myself up to different opportunities and those leading to other things.
Yeah.
I was like on set for Ari Lennox one week and then somebody on that set like kicked me to like the DDG video I was just in. Just
Ooh.
I feel like these little gigs were different than what I was used to, but it's
Yeah.
opened different doors and
Right.
just like I've met a lot of like friends too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been good.
So, and this all transitioned and this all happened, I guess, after you got out of your contract.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that. I feel like that's really important for people to hear though, because I think a lot of times you might think to yourself if you're watching this that your end goal is to be signed, but
Yeah.
ultimately a lot of people do get signed and they don't have the best experience, like maybe
Right.
with their agent or the agency, but also they just don't have opportunities. And I think it's always important to remember that it's not necessarily you and like what you're doing wrong or your look. I don't think you have to change or feel like you need to change anything about yourself. I think sometimes you just need to get with the right people who believe in you, but also see the vision that you have for yourself.
Yeah.
Because you can say all day, like, hey, I want to model for this brand and I'd love to, be the face of a certain clothing brand or makeup brand, skincare brand.
Hmm.
But if they don't see that for you, a lot of times you have to spend your own money doing test
Right.
shoots and things like that to make it happen for yourself. So if you are independent, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because you can make a different connections and you have no loyalties and you will probably pay less in fees. So
Right.
something to consider if you're watching this and you've always wanted to be modeled or signed.
Yeah, for sure.
There's different ways to hustle and get booked as a
Definitely.
model without being
Definitely.
signed to an agent. And I say that because I was working a lot before I got signed. And then,
Hmm.
I love my agency and I love my agent in particular because she genuinely believes me and she found me off of social media. But
Hmm.
sometimes there's politics going on and things behind the scene that they don't necessarily discuss with you, but you see them at play. So
Right.
that can be kind of challenging to figure out where you stand. And I think when you don't see work, it can be a little debilitating to you, and it kind of makes you forget, I think, at times, like, who the fuck you are. Like,
Right. You get really far away from like your goal that you started with and just
yeah.
like being confident.
Mm-hmm.
I think being independent also makes you be creative more consistently.
Yeah.
Whereas you're waiting for an agent to send you to a casting or do a self tape, I feel like you're more likely to consistently hustle. So that's been the good part is you feel like you're still staying in the game because you're hustling a little. You have to hustle a little bit more without an agent.
Yeah, and I think it also feeds that fire in you of like, I have to make this happen for myself. I cannot
Yeah.
wait for anyone to do it for me and open the door for me or to
Hmm.
elevate me and, hold my hand and bring me up. It's literally me or nothing.
What do you wish you knew when you first started?
There's so many things that I wish I knew. I think the first one is get a good group of people around you, build connections, but genuine connections. Don't waste your time creating friendships just because you don't want to be alone. Make sure that you have a good circle around you, because sometimes in your low moments, those are going to be the people who lift you up, and
Right.
they're going to continue to inspire you. And if they're learning and growing and moving, then it makes you want to be that too, because it's almost
Right.
like you don't want to get left behind, or you don't want to miss out on things because you're not prepared
Yeah,
yourself,
for sure.
I have friends who are writing scripts, and I'm like, oh man, like I gotta get back into acting classes, I gotta
Yeah.
do this. And one of my close friends, she's writing a script, and she said, you know what, you'd be perfect for this. And so I'm gonna be in her short film because she thought enough of me to write a character for me.
That's so
And
awesome.
so
Ooh, I'm excited to
I'm
see
excited about it too. It's a really, really great script. I just read it and it really moved me. I think you need to definitely make sure that you have people in your corner who want to see the best from you, and you also want the best for them.
it. Moving on to life in LA. What has been the most rewarding part of working and living in LA?
You know what? I think it's the most rewarding part about being in LA is being able to see everyone who is taking a leap of faith and who have moved here to believe in themselves, because
Right.
I would say 90% of the people I've met here are transplants and they're not originally from here.
Yeah.
So it's inspiring to see people come here with a dream and to be able to kind of like hound it out and work on what that looks like for them. And it might show up in a different way, or it might be exactly how they planned it, but being able to like know people and have friends who are actively pursuing something is really inspiring. I think that's been one of the most beautiful things about being in LA. You constantly are meeting people who they live here, but they want so much more out of themselves.
Right.
And I think when you're able to feed your passion in that way, I don't know, it's exciting to see.
You said that so nicely,
Thanks.
but I definitely agree with that. I think people see LA as a very superficial place. It's just all about what it looks like than what it really is. But I feel like the real LA is really about unity. A lot of people are supportive. A lot of people know it's a struggle to be here and like what it takes. So you're already kind of like seeing people in a room where it's like, okay, I kind of feel like I know you probably worked hard to be here.
Yeah.
In some way, even if I don't know you, you kind of like just have that sense of understanding. So I do think there's more support than people make it seem out here.
Yeah, like there's a underlying layer or like commonality that we can understand between each other, because we know what it takes
Right.
to like move here and like pour into the things we love doing, but also having to sacrifice where we need to be to make that dream a reality.
I'm coming up on 6 years being here, and I think when I first started, I felt like every audition has to be perfect, every casting has to be perfect, my shoes, my outfit, everything is like just overthought. I'm not eating before I go to set, like so I can be super snatched, like doing all those things. But now it's kind of just like, all right, I'm gonna eat a burger before I go to work. I don't care. Like just you get more comfortable with yourself here.
Yeah.
And, it's hard. It takes some time to like get there, but I
Yeah.
think a lot of people try to be this like perfect version of what they think people want from them,
Yeah, exactly.
and it can be taken a little too far sometimes. I've seen
Yeah.
that happen, but more times than not, people are pretty like down to earth.
Yeah, I think so too. I definitely love being in LA because I think it's forced me to just really be myself. I definitely think I came here and was like, I have to prove that I'm this way, and like I am, this version of myself, and like I have to be perfect and spot on, and like all my shit, I gotta have everything together. Like
Yeah,
I have
it's
to go
like
above
for
and
who?
beyond. Right.
For what?
Yeah, and like also going on the auditions too. It's like when I first started going, my energy was very much like, oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's like, yes, like humbly have that gratitude and have that gratefulness about you, but like
You're meant to
be in the
You deserve
rooms.
to be there.
Exactly. You're meant to be in the rooms, and you've worked hard to be in the rooms.
Yes.
So like, yes, you're grateful to be here, but at the end of the day, they need you as much as you need them.
Yeah,
And that's the thing I
for
think
sure.
I wish I realized and have realized since being here for sure. And just show up as yourself, because that's going to get you in the room. And a lot of times it's not what you inherently look like or how you dress or how much makeup you're wearing and if your hair is laid or if it's not. Like, it's very much about what energy are you bringing, because if you can make someone feel seen and feel comfortable and safe, and they're like, oh shit, I'm kind of telling you my whole life story and I didn't mean to do that, people are like, oh wow, this girl's really good at connecting with other people, or she makes me feel very calm, or she makes me feel excited. People are able to cut and sift through that, and they'll put you in places that you're supposed to be in for sure.
It's really how you're connecting with people, like how open and vulnerable you could be on set. I just feel like I've talked about so many life experiences with like a makeup artist and a photographer, and then later down the road we work together again. It's like, if I were to be closed off, like, these opportunities wouldn't keep coming.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think, that's super important.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Because sometimes a recommendation will come from the makeup artist. They're like, wait, actually, I know someone who'd be good for this.
Shout out to makeup artists. They have paid some bills for me before.
No, they definitely have. For real.
Shout out to them. Yeah, being a makeup artist is, I'm sure, a whole nother hustle, too.
Oh, yeah. I have some friends who are makeup artists, and I was like, wow, like, they are busy. Yeah. And
we invest in like our book and like our portfolio, but it's like they invest in products.
Yeah.
And like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And also like trying to deliver everyone like the looks that everyone wants, because not everyone wants the same look. Like they have to really have a lot of diversity in how they apply their makeup and their skills. But shout out to the makeup artists especially who are working on brown and black skin tones.
Yes.
We love you. That's been better.
You're always remembered, never forgotten.
Right.
Because you will remember the times when your face looks gray on set. And you're like, okay, so that's another
Why
thing.
I look like a ghost?
That's another thing on set. If you have a makeup artist who is not experienced with like people of color, brown skin tone, you are also required to go on set with looking like a freaking corpse. And then you have to be like a bad bitch for 8 hours.
No, literally.
Looking crazy.
Wait, sorry. A whole memory just came back. It just sparked something in me. No, like, that is tough. Because why you want me to admit my bad bitch energy, but I look crazy now.
I feel my worst.
Right, like I'm trying. No, because you'll be in the bathroom too, like, get it together, you're fine, don't cry, you're okay, you're gonna kill it, babe, don't worry. And then sometimes you're trying to convince yourself, like, I think it's just the gray lighting in here. No, it's the makeup.
Modeling has literally just brought mental toughness to a whole new level.
Oh, absolutely.
You literally have to be like, I'm the shit, and I look like shit, but I'm the shit. So you have to literally keep moving. You can literally hate your makeup, hate your hair, hate the outfit, it doesn't flatter your body, and you have to be like, I'm Beyonce today.
Because
and want to cry.
No, literally internally you're like, I hate it here, I want to go home, I've never felt so ugly in my life.
I'm like, can I just go back to the no makeup that I walked in with?
No, because how is the no makeup bare face more comfortable and more beautiful and literally hitting more than makeup? What? I would rather come in plain than what you have me on.
Yeah, you can show the blemishes, the texture before you show me looking like a corpse, okay? All right, we're not gonna go too far into that because I could go all day about that.
All day, too many experiences, and it's so
trauma.
No, really, and you be thinking you're alone. You're not.
No. And also, like, we are on the lighter side too, as well.
Yeah,
like, we're having that issue. You don't have a shade range for me.
For me,
I literally like get super light during the winter. What about like the rest of the world?
No,
like hello.
I just don't get it. I don't get it. I'm like, what about my dark skin baddies? Right. Please, like, I just can't.
Shout out to brands, like, I want to give a shout out to House Labs. Like, that brand will literally work with models and pay models just to do, like, shade testing.
Oh,
to make sure they are getting everything right before they launch something.
Wow.
Like, that's actually investing in, like, actual representation.
That's beautiful.
Shout out to Gaga. Right, shout out Gaga.
Shout out to our girl.
Moving on to inspiration and advice. What advice would you give to someone who's just starting out in LA?
Don't be in a rush.
Yeah.
Don't be in a rush. Your time is yours. Your life is yours. Your mistakes are yours. Your growth is yours. Your journey is yours. Too many times people come here, they have their imaginary timeline in their head. They want things to work out perfectly. It's not going to happen that way. If it does for you, amazing.
Yeah.
Let me see what your career looks like in 20 years if everything goes so smooth when you first get here.
Mm-hmm.
But for everyone else who is struggling or will struggle along their journey, learn to appreciate where you're at in that moment. Who you become from getting to point A to point Z, that's the best part.
Mm-hmm.
And I think more people have to realize that. Yes, we want to see it at the end, but what happens when you get to the end?
Right.
Are you going to be satisfied? Are you actually going to be happy with the things that you've
Mm-hmm.
accomplished? Or are you going to like, oh, fuck, there's still more.
Right.
There's still more to do. There's still more to see. There's still more to have. So you have to appreciate where you're currently at and then understand that it's really that journey and that road that is going to let you appreciate your peak moment.
Right.
If that makes sense. That's something that I wish I knew.
Also, there's a lot of people that sometimes do blow up when they come to LA right off the bat. They're full time, it's great, but you don't know what life of like struggle they might have had in their hometown or like just all the traumatic things they overcame to have this moment of like success and peace. So even if you see that, you just don't ever know what it actually took and like what happened before all of that.
Yeah,
success.
exactly. Or like some people are going through success, but they're not happy at all. And they can't even see, you know, how amazing their life looks like from the outside looking in because they are internally struggling every single second of the day. Mental battles. I have known someone who in my mind I was like, oh my gosh, goals. You have like you have built an incredible community, a supportive community. You are an entrepreneur, you're a content creator. That is your full-time job.
Takes a lot.
Mentally, like struggling. I mean, going through depression, anxiety severely, and then having to like everything's fine
Yeah, like,
because you had to show up for
we're
your
gonna
content
record
creation
today.
job.
Yeah.
And then behind closed doors, it's like she could have crumbled at any second. It's like
Right.
I would not want to live my life in that way.
Yeah, like at what cost?
At what cost?
Also, too, I think over time I've met friends where they're successful when I meet them, and then there's more accolades and more work and more hours, and they like hit exhaustion and they can't even enjoy the fruits of their labor because they have to like keep up with everything they've created, and then
Yes.
just there's a decline in the mental health. So it's like you never really know.
Yeah.
They could like have a mansion, a Lambo,
Girl, they could have it
and
all.
literally be like on their last leg, like
No,
barely
really.
hanging on,
No, literally about to crash out.
crash out.
The
heavily.
crash out be real. But it's hard to put your life out there. And I think a lot of times people look at people and they forget that they're literal people and forget that they're
Literally.
humans and we're all sharing, you know, certain emotions and feelings, fears.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
so,
the
yeah.
burnout is real. So, with that being said, moving on to mental health and wellness, what impact has this industry had on your mental health?
I think when I first came here and I first got signed to an agency and I was going on auditions and like not hearing anything back, it definitely affected me a lot mentally. I started to question if this was even the space for me. I started to question if this was the right city, if I was the right person for the job, if my life had any purpose or meaning still. I questioned a lot about myself.
Yeah.
And I think I've always been someone who had a lot of confidence in themselves, whether that be in how I looked or what I could offer and the value that I can bring to a space. And I started forgetting that a lot. And I do think it's difficult when you see people besides you who are having wins. Or they're going through their winning season, or they're getting the job here and getting the job there, and you see it on your Instagram. It's almost inescapable how well other people around you seemingly are doing.
Right.
And that ate away at me a lot. Like I definitely had some depressive episodes
For
in
sure.
2023 for sure. My whole friendship circle shifted. Everything kind of changed for me in 2023. And it was very challenging for me, but I started to look at the friendships that I thought I had lost, but was a huge blessing, to
And
be
like a
honest.
personal gain within yourself, I'm
A
sure.
huge personal gain for sure. It
Mm-hmm.
also let me shift my focus back onto God,
Mm-hmm.
which for me was essential.
Yes.
And I think my whole life started to pivot and change from there.
Mm.
So it felt like it was sent to break me, but it ultimately was one of the biggest breakthroughs of my life that I had, because when I had those friendships, I was really pouring into them and I really
Mm-hmm.
loved on those people. And it took a lot of time and energy away from myself. And I was
Mm-hmm.
investing into a lot of people instead.
Yeah.
And then when that changed, I was really forced to like look at myself and like re examine what I'm here for and like
Mm-hmm.
how I need to show up for me.
Yeah.
And that saved my life.
Woo!
Yeah.
Sheesh, I felt that one.
You know, people aren't meant to come with you through all those seasons of your life. And
Right.
sometimes you really just have to surrender to that. And there's a
Mm-hmm.
bigger play that's going on at work behind the door that you might not be attuned to.
Right.
And then I think once things start to shift, you're like, ah, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've now have an incredible group of friends that can't I can't even put in words like how they have changed my life, because I'm able to look at them and be like, oh my gosh, like you inspire me so much, or like thank you for showing up for me when I needed someone, or
Yeah.
thanks for cheering me on. Oh, you thought about me and like got me whatever. Thank you. That's so considerate. Like that's so sweet, and
Yeah.
like you have people that are just genuinely excited for you and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
girl, like I see so much greatness in you. I'm so
Yeah.
happy that
That is
like
so key.
yeah, that
That's
you are
everything.
able to step into that person that I can totally see you, being.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like my friends right now, I mean, they're incredible. I get so excited just thinking of
Yeah.
them because I'm like, no, you guys are fucking killing it. Like,
Oh, I love
yeah,
that.
so
Girlhood
I'm
is everything, honestly. Like, that
yeah,
is life.
yeah.
Girlhood is life.
No, it is. It is for sure.
So, looking to the future, where do you see your career in the next 5 years? Or just for your life in general?
Um, These are such good questions, Janae. I'm really having to like, yeah, go here and ask myself like, what do you really want? You know what's funny? The things that I really wanted when I first moved to LA, I don't know if I necessarily want them anymore. Like I think my interests changed.
Sure.
Like I loved the busyness of the city and like, oh, there's so much going on. And I think the older I'm getting, I'm kind of appreciating stillness and quiet and peacefulness and nature and
She's tired over here, okay? I need a little break.
you need to go put your feet in some grass.
Right. Put your feet in some grass, go to the beach,
No,
just
like you know what? You need
relax.
to do one of those like those cute little cabins where they're like all glass,
Oh, yeah,
and
those are
then
so cute.
yes, and like it's just forest and nature, and you kind of unplug, or like go to like Joshua Tree or something and just
Yeah.
have a time for yourself and bring like a bestie with you or something, cause
Yeah.
or just solo trip. But oh my gosh, I definitely the things that I initially wanted when I was here, I hold them near and dear to my heart, but they're kind of different now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think when I came here, I was very me motivated of like
Mm-hmm.
what I want out of LA and what I can get out of the city and what opportunities I can attract.
Mm-hmm.
Now my focus is more on what I can give and how I can show up for not just myself, but the people that I love, and also show up for communities that need support. I recently got my certification, so I'm now an official Pilates
Ooh,
instructor.
she's a Pilates baddie.
Yes, but
I have
I've
to take
been.
one of your classes.
Oh, I would
I'm
love you
excited.
to. Yeah, that would be so much fun. Um, and so I think I want to hold more events and like mat Pilates events for specifically like women of color, because
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some weird like elitist thing in Pilates.
Yes.
Um, if you know, you know. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to bring Pilates to like communities that I definitely know would benefit from it, because Pilates has changed my life. And I think if more people started practicing Pilates, they would understand the benefits go way further than a lot of other workouts.
Yeah, for
Not saying to
sure.
stop doing other things, like do it all, but Pilates has definitely helped change my life, and I want to be able to share that with other people. So I definitely want to hold some more community events and like grow in that space,
That's
and like the
awesome.
health and wellness space.
Definitely see that for you.
Thanks, yeah. And then I don't know. I'll probably, hopefully, be married. Maybe a kid or two. But I don't really know if I see the longevity of my career being in LA. Like I thought I was going to come here and like live here for the rest of my life. That's what I like envisioned for myself for a long time. And now I'm like, I wouldn't mind, popping over to a different country.
Open to different things.
Maybe
For
go to
sure.
Bali, maybe the Philippines.
Ooh.
I don't know. I would like to be somewhere abroad. I think it would be
Yeah, that'd be
great.
so cool.
Yeah, I think the quality of food and the quality of life are amazing in other places. I think we put a
Definitely
lot of
agree.
emphasis here on like what you do.
And
And
that's literally not like what you do is not who you are, your value or your worth or literally the meaning of life. Like
yeah, exactly.
we are living in an assimilation,
No.
literally. Like if this all ends, like what are we here for?
Yeah,
We're not
exactly.
here to like break our back and make money and pay bills and die. Like that's not it.
No, I want enjoyment.
Yes, enjoyment,
Like,
love, and
yes.
connection, and like stillness, like you said, peace.
Yeah.
And like you said too, like giving back, that's something I really want to do in this coming year is like freeing up more time from the hustle so I can like volunteer with youth and like
Yeah.
do the things that really do make you feel good. Like those are, you're going to remember that more than, I don't know.
Your
Something
title
crazy.
or
Yeah,
your job.
title, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, same.
Because these people will replace you, like jobs or corporate life or, the
Absolutely.
next booking. Like it's just always going to be someone else. So you can't place like too much value on that.
Yeah,
in
no,
yourself.
exactly. And I think going through life, I've kind of been able to see that, especially living here. I think that that's the one thing that kind of gets sad is like you see people who are like giving so much and then they're burnt out and they don't have anything for themselves or like just for themselves. And like now 2025, one of my goals was to have hobbies or like to just pick up random things and like try new things. So that's
Yeah.
something I'm like, boop, I already got my little salsa dance class
Ooh,
checked
I
off.
do remember seeing those videos. You did also, you did a lot of different activities last year.
Yes, I was
cool.
trying new things last year, yeah. And then like literally January, I think like 3rd or something, I took a salsa dancing class. So fun.
That's so cool.
So fun.
My friend actually taught me how at like a bar. We went out randomly, like last week, and she taught me.
Oh
like
my
just
gosh.
freestyle taught me the thing.
What? I love that. Just like I want to have more things that are just for me and not for the purpose of like creating content for.
Right.
I think that's hard when you're a content creator is like trying to decipher is this something I share with everyone or is this something I keep for myself? And I think this year I want to have more experiences that are just for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that for you. I think I want to do the same thing. I'm with you there. Well, thank you so much for being episode 5 of the podcast, period. Where can people find you on social media?
Thank you so much for having me. I am such a huge fan of you and like how you show up in the world, and I do genuinely feel like you have such a beautiful light that comes from just internally and it shines out, and anyone who is near you can feel that
Okay,
and
you're
feel
gonna make
that
me
love.
emotional.
I'm being so serious.
Thank you
Like
so much.
I was so surprised when you reached out to like ask me to be here, and I was like, oh my gosh, because I've already seen what you've been doing and I've just been cheering you on.
Oh my
And so
gosh,
I'm
you're gonna
happy
make
to
me,
be in
like,
this space.
Thank you so much. But honestly, even your response and like just how supportive you were meant so much to me. I was like, oh my gosh, like she's so sweet. And just feeling like you have the support here in this city is so important. And I like appreciate your support and the light that you bring as well.
Oh, thank you. Yes, no, I'm happy to support you in anything you do. If you pivot and want to
too,
start a cooking
girl.
channel, girl, I'm gonna be there.
Right, me too. I'm like salsa classes,
Right.
Pilates, like I'm with whatever you want to do.
Thank
So I
you.
look forward to seeing the growth and also like building our friendship as we're hopefully going to have more stillness and peace in 2025.
Yes.
So we have
look,
time for fun things.
I'm praying and bringing all that in, okay?
Yes.
But yeah, everyone can find me on Instagram, Sienna, Linda. Same thing on YouTube, same thing on TikTok.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
That was so
Yay,
cute. I
it
love.
was.
How long do we yap for?